I didn't mean to flirt with her. It just slipped out. The Queen of the Stars stood before the council chamber, draped in light that shimmered like distant galaxies. Every general, diplomat, and machine intelligence had gone silent. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure the translators would pick it up. I was just a human envoy, no rank, no power, no importance. When she turned her silver eyes toward me, I panicked. My mouth moved faster than my brain. "You're astonishing," I said. "The stars seem dull compared to you." The room froze. Blasters powered up. Royal guards tightened their grip. I waited for execution, exile, or worse. But the Queen didn't get angry. She smiled. A small, curious smile, like someone discovering a forgotten melody. "Humans," she said softly, stepping closer, "always speak from the heart, even when they shouldn't." I swallowed hard. "I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I meant no disrespect." "On the contrary," she replied. "For centuries, beings have feared me, praised my throne, or worshipped my power. You were the first to see me." The council erupted in whispers. The war negotiations, the reason I was there, suddenly felt insignificant. She dismissed the guards with a gesture. "Tell me, human," she said, her voice lowering, "do you always speak so honestly?" "Only when I forget I'm afraid," I answered. She laughed, an echo like starlight breaking. In that moment, I understood something dangerous and beautiful. Empires weren't moved by weapons or machines. They were moved by courage. And sometimes, by a single careless truth spoken to a queen who had forgotten what honesty felt like. That day, the war ended. Not because I was powerful, but because I was human. The war didn't end quietly. When the council chamber emptied, I thought my role was finished. I was wrong. 2 royal guards escorted me through halls made of living crystal, their reflections stretching like memories I didn't recognize. "Where are you taking me?" I asked. "The Queen wishes to continue the conversation," one replied. That was worse than execution. Her private observatory overlooked a spiral galaxy in slow motion. Stars were being born and dying in silence. She stood alone, her crown set aside, looking tired. "You shouldn't be here," she said without turning around. "Humans leave after treaties." "Then send me back," I said. "I said enough damage for one lifetime." She turned, studying me the way astronomers study strange signals. "You embarrassed me before my empire." My chest tightened. "I'll accept any punishment." She shook her head. "You reminded me of something." She gestured toward the galaxy. "I rule thousands of worlds. I command fleets that darken suns. Yet no one has spoken to me without fear for over 400 years." I said nothing. "You weren't brave," she continued. "You were honest. There is a difference." She walked closer, close enough that I could see faint scars along her hands, battle marks, hidden beneath perfection. "Why did you really say it?" she asked. I hesitated. "Because for a second, you didn't look like a queen. You looked lonely." Silence. Then she exhaled, long and slow. "Loneliness," she whispered, "is the one enemy no empire defeats." She looked at me, not as a ruler, not as a weapon, but as a being. "Stay," she said. "Not as an envoy. As a reminder." I didn't know then that staying would change history. I only knew that the stars outside were shifting. And somehow, so was I. Staying was never part of the mission. Yet there I was, standing beside the Queen of the Stars as alarms echoed through the palace. The galaxy outside the observatory flickered red, enemy fleets moving despite the ceasefire. "They won't accept peace," I said quietly. "No," she replied. "They never do." For the first time, she looked uncertain. Not weak, just burdened. The kind of weight only rulers carry when millions of lives depend on a single decision. They see kindness as weakness, she continued. If I strike back, the war returns. If I don't, my empire fractures. I thought of Earth. Of humans arguing, failing, trying again. Then don't answer them as a queen, I said. Answer them as a person. She turned sharply. Empires don't follow people. They follow power. Maybe that's why they keep breaking, I said. Silence fell between us. Moments later, the chamber doors burst open. A general stormed in, armor scorched from battle. Your Majesty, the outer systems demand retaliation. They question your judgment, because of him. I stiffened. The Queen didn't look at the general. She looked at me. Are you afraid? She asked. Yes, I said honestly. She nodded. Then she did something no one expected. She stepped forward and placed her crown into my hands. Gasps filled the room. Then stand with me, she said, voice steady. Let them see what fear looks like when it chooses peace. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel ready. But when I stood beside her, facing an empire watching through 1,000 screens, I understood something terrifying. History wasn't being written by soldiers. It was being written by two voices choosing not to shout. And somewhere among the stars, the war hesitated. The hesitation didn't last. That night, the palace went silent in a way that felt wrong. No hum of energy veins in the walls. No distant movement of guards. Just stillness, thick and watchful. I was walking back to my chamber when I felt it. Someone was following me. The lights flickered. A sharp hiss cut the air, and a blade of condensed plasma slammed into the wall inches from my head. I dove forward as alarms finally screamed to life. Traitor, a voice snarled from the shadows. Royal assassins, not enemies from outside, but loyalists from within. Those who believed peace was betrayal. I ran. The corridor opened into the observatory just as another strike shattered the glass dome. Stars spilled into view like watching eyes. And there, standing calm amid chaos, was the Queen. You shouldn't have come, she said, already knowing. They're coming for you, I shouted. They already have, she replied. 3 assassins emerged, weapons glowing. The guards were too far. Too late. I stepped forward before I could think. Stop. I yelled. If you kill her, the Empire burns. If you kill me, nothing changes. One assassin hesitated. Another didn't. The Queen moved faster than light. She raised her hand, and the stars outside answered. Gravity bent. Weapons tore themselves apart midair. The assassins collapsed, pinned by invisible force. When it was over, she stood shaking, not from fear, but from restraint. I swore never to use that power again, she whispered. I looked at her then, not as a queen, not as a symbol, but as someone forced to become a weapon to survive her own throne. She turned to me, eyes heavy with a terrible choice. They won't stop, she said. And next time, they won't miss. I understood what she wasn't saying. To protect peace. One of us would have to fall. The decision was made before either of us said it out loud. At dawn, the Queen stood before the Empire's full transmission network. Every world. Every fleet. Every throne watching in silence. I stood behind her, knowing this would be the last time. They fear peace, she began, her voice steady. Not because it is weak, but because it demands courage. Murmurs rippled across the stars. For generations, I ruled you as a symbol, she continued. A crown. A weapon. A certainty. She paused, then did something no ruler in history had ever done. She stepped aside. This human reminded me what I forgot, she said. That leadership is not domination. It is trust. Gasps echoed through the channel. I will relinquish my absolute power, she declared. The empire will be governed by counsel. No single throne. No single fear. The traitors made their move instantly. Energy surged. A hidden weapon locked onto the platform. I didn't think. I stepped forward. The blast never reached her. Pain hit like fire and silence at the same time. I fell, staring at the stars one last time, strangely calm. I heard her scream. When I woke, I was surrounded by light, not death, but healing. She knelt beside me, hands trembling. You chose me, she whispered. No, I said weakly. I chose everyone. The empire changed that day. Not because a queen ruled differently, but because she listened. Years later, children across the galaxy learn a simple truth in their history lessons. The war ended when a human spoke honestly. And peace survived because a queen had the courage to step down. Among the stars, my name is barely remembered. But hers is spoken with something new. Hope.